Hello everyone! Today I am going to be filling a sketchbook page with Sharpie art. Now it's been a while since I have actually drawn a full illustration with Sharpies, so I just decided to draw a girl with a simple pose just to see hey, is there anything that I need to improve upon? Is there anything that I may need to change to accommodate me using a different medium, that sort of thing. So here you could just see me drawing a girl with a peace sign, and I also gave her an open mouth smile, which I don't think is something I've ever done on this channel before, or I don't think I've ever done it off camera either. So I thought that was pretty cool, but sadly that was something that was better in the sketching phase than with the actual finished illustration, but oh well, you live and you learn. So here I'm just finishing the sketch before I go in with the Sharpies. And then I started with the liner, and the liner was relatively the same as the way I usually do it, like thicker liner on the outside, thinner liner on the inside, and it's also black the way I usually do it. So that wasn't really any different, but when I started with the coloring, I decided to swatch out all my colors first, just to see how many colors I have and which ones are drying out, because I haven't used these in a while, that sort of thing. And the sad thing with me swatching some of these Sharpies was that I had a lot of reds and pinks, right? That's not the sad part, but I'm getting to the sad part in a second. Had a lot of reds, had a lot of greens, didn't have a whole lot of yellows, but, I still had a yellow that was working perfectly fine so I could manage. But the annoying thing was I only had one blue, right? But this blue was on the verge of drying out. It was literally, really close to drying out. You'll see in a second, but it's I had to use it a few times just to make sure that it wasn't just, needed more ink or anything. No, it's just dried out. And you might see in a second that my left hand's going to have a few blue splotches, and that's from this blue Sharpie that I accidentally spilled on my hand. So yeah, anytime that you see my left hand in the video having a few blue splotches, that's because of that Sharpie. You see right there, it popped up for a second, but yeah, that's why that is. Also, I'm sorry about the shakiness of the video. I don't know why that happened, but I tried shading in her skin, which turned out relatively fine, but then I tried shading her hair, and then that just kind of grew to be a little bit of a mess because I only have one yellow. So with realizing that I don't really have the blue and I don't really have any good shading with the yellow, I decided to try a more lineless sort of feel, because I felt like the first one, the black, kind of stood out too much. So here I just tried to draw a girl with a mask on, because the way I normally draw eyelashes didn't really work on that one. So then I tried to draw this girl, and realizing from the previous one that if I used my extra fine pink and my extra fine beige, I could come up with skin tone that seemed pretty good. I decided to do that, and the skin tone actually looks really well in my opinion. I think it gets the job done. So here I'm just shading her hair, and I'm also shading her jacket and the planet that she's holding, because I wanted to make this one a slight fantasy drawing, because I saw a whole bunch of celestial drawings when I was doing this video, so I'm you know what, I can do that. And I also decided to think of everything in terms of shapes and things rather than just lining it to show that they're different objects, and I think that turned out relatively well for that drawing. So for this I also tried to draw someone with a different, more fantasy skin tone as well. So I decided to draw this guy and give him elf ears and red hair and green skin, and I think that turned out really well. I didn't do as much shading for it though, because I didn't have as many greens as I do with the reds and stuff, but overall I think that one turned out pretty well. Lost the lines on the shirt though. And I also decided to draw a girl with a purple skin tone, and I wanted to make her hair blue, but as I mentioned previously, the blue was running out of ink, So I had to go over that, but then that kind of made it lose the lines. So I had to go over some things to try to actually bring back lines, which I was trying to avoid. But oh well. And then I tried to fix up this girl, and by making her a redhead, I could actually do the shading better with her. So I think in the end, all of these turned out pretty well. So if you liked this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That would be greatly appreciated. And I hope you all have a magnificent day, and I will see you all later.